All right. So Mike just texted me. He's out riding his bike right now. He was like, what happened to the stream? So the stream I had set up a second ago, guys, I hit the wrong button and I killed it. Mike was like, boomer. Completely my fault. So here we are on a new stream. No pre-show. The pre-show was the other stream. No pre-show on this one. But let's see here. Let me share my screen because I gotta reset all this up. Good God, I literally had everything ready to go. Yeah, how you doing today, John?
I'm doing well. I showed up in the background and it was like stream ended 10 minutes in. I'm like, oh no, what happened?
Yeah. So Loki has got car trouble. He is stuck at Walmart waiting on a tow truck right now. So he is not going to make it. Culture, he's tied up, so he's not going to make it today either. So, guys, you just got me and John today. But I got a juicy topic I want to get into. But before we do that, there's 4 ways you guys can support us here on the channel. Of course, our channel memberships, become part of the EBN member family. You can join us on Patreon, where we upload tons of stuff that I cannot post here on YouTube. Of course, super chats. If you guys want us to hit a topic that we're not hitting on, or just want to leave a comment, support the channel. And then, of course, last but not least, just being here, smashing that like button, sharing this out, all that good stuff. So thank you guys for everybody being here. Let me go ahead and switch this and we'll hit our first topic. And yes, if you guys have not been watching our regular live streams, I am on a treadmill. Getting those steps in. John was like, are you on a treadmill? I was like, yep. Let's see here. Let me see.
You just outed me. You just outed me. I clearly don't watch the regular streams, right?
Yeah. All right. There we go. All right. Did you see this news, John?
Yeah, I covered it over on Fandom Pulse.
Yeah. So Disney CEO Bob Iger, ABC News boss, told The View, the cackling ladies over there, host, to tone down the anti-Trump criticism. I guess Iger and Disney's getting tired of, getting destroyed by people with their TDS. But this comes from us from the New York Post. Disney CEO Bob Iger and ABC News boss Alman Carm, I'm not even going to try pronouncing that, have urged the hosts of the left-leaning daytime talk show The View to scale back their political commentary, particularly their frequent criticisms of President Trump, according to a report. The move has sparked tension behind the scenes at the show, I'm sure, whose outspoken panel has become known for tackling political issues head-on. The Daily Beast reported this Wednesday. In February, the Post reported that The View executive producer Brian Teta spoke to staffers at the show about going easy on Trump-related commentary in the days leading up to the January 20th inauguration, a move that led to tension in front of the cameras. And there's the whole host of cackling hens right there. The directive was issued after co-hosts were forced to issue 4 legal notes. So any of you guys that keep up with this kind of stuff, you'll see these morons constantly after commercial breaks having to say, hang on, I got a legal note. And then they got to read some sort of legal quote to correct whatever it was they're saying so they don't get sued.
I think it was mainly that Sunny Hostin woman, right?
Oh, gosh, she has them all the time. But the legal notes are disclaimers during a November broadcast while discussing allegations leveled at several of Trump's cabinet nominees. A source familiar with the situation told the Post on Thursday that ABC officials constantly have conversations with talent based on viewer feedback. In this instance was no different. The source noted that The View is an opinion show and that the co-hosts are paid to give their perspectives on a variety of topics, including politics. But my issue is they speak their opinion like it's fact. And I think that's where the problem comes in. It's not really, they try to scapegoat around it, saying, oh, it's just, we're just giving our opinions. No, they literally make comments stating it as fact. And that's where the issue comes in. And that's why they have so many, legal notes that they have to read after commercial breaks. But yeah, I think Bob Iger's kind of catching on. I'm glad that he did this. It's going to be in his benefit, ABC News benefit, so they don't get sued. But I think you covered this week, right, John? You said?
Yeah, I did it this morning. I think the whole story is a bunch of BS. I think it's bogus. I don't think Bob Iger had this conversation. I don't think this other guy at ABC News had this conversation. I mean, The View has been political for who knows how many years. If you go to their YouTube channel, their most viewed videos are their political videos, whether it's talking about Trump secretaries, whether it's talking about Trump himself, etc. Those are like their most viewed stuff. Like that is where they're getting most of their traffic from. That's where they're likely getting most of the revenue from YouTube from. And then you look at their ratings. I think this is what people tune in to watch. They like to watch their hot takes on the politics, and that's what their audience watches, because their audience is probably 50 plus women. So I think it's a bunch of, I don't buy the whole, I don't buy it at all. I think it's a complete fabricated story from the Daily Beast, which is a radical left-wing website. And they only cite two or three anonymous people. So you don't even know who they are when you dig into this stuff. And again, I think even the fact that they had these legal notes indicates that, and they kept doing them, indicates that even if they had the conversation, they just dismissed it, right? They kept on trucking along.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what you're saying. As far as I could totally see that being a possibility. If it is true, I mean, maybe Iger's.
Have we seen anything else with Iger actually toning any of this stuff back though? I mean, haven't seen it in the movies, haven't seen it in any of his TV shows. They're still doubling down on all of this stuff. I don't know. I just haven't seen anything anywhere else where they're trying to back away from any of this stuff. It all looks kind of status quo to me, which has been just progressing further into the woke stuff. I mean, sure, they said that they removed that trans storyline from that Pixar show, but then they had the whole LGBT stuff in it anyways, right? So it's it's still there.
Yeah, and do you remember when Iger had I can't remember if it was on an earnings call or he was just somebody was interviewing him where he was talking about pulling back from a lot of the woke social stuff. They were getting rid of DEI, all that sort of stuff, but it's sort of like it's all still there.
Yeah. I mean, he says, I feel like he said this throughout the last couple of year or two, but again, nothing I've seen has really changed at all. I mean, they just did the Captain America Brave New World with Marvel, Thunderbolts. What was their, I don't know, what have they done? Snow White. They just did the live act, that Snow White thing. I mean, so I haven't really seen, they did the race swap of the Rick Riordan stuff that they're having on Disney Plus. It's getting a third season now. They're doing Fantastic Four. They still hire this Pedro Pascal guy who uses his roles to promote all of this stuff, which to me means they're promoting it through him. Yeah. And then they're doing a sex swapped holes television show that they just greenlit this year. So again, I mean, we haven't been toning any of this stuff back. So the idea that he's going and telling the View people to tone it back, I just don't see that. Maybe if you're looking at it just from on Trump, now that's a possibility because we know that there's kind of he's suing CBS and stuff. They already had that ABC $15 million settlement or whatever that Disney did with Trump. Now I think that's probably more of a possibility if it's just Trump rather than kind of all of the political criticisms that I think the report kind of insinuates is what it was, not just on Trump.
Yeah, no, I could totally see that being the case, especially with what Iger said in the past and what we're still getting and seeing out of Disney. But Epic Universe just opened up, and good God, did you see the crowds flooding in to that place it was freaking Black Friday in 1999?
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, it looks really cool. I mean, I'd love to go. I'll probably wait till all the crowds are maybe not as crazy to go. And my kids are a little older, so they realize what's happening. So
yeah, I'd like to go like in the fall, like maybe towards the end of November, 1st of December time-frame, when it's like not super hot there, crowds aren't super large, and like go during the week.
Yeah, like the Halloween time, like that fall.
Yep.
Yeah, that's usually pretty good there.
Yep. Real quick, Mexican Iron Man coming in with 5 EBN gifted memberships. Hell to you, good sir. Hope you're enjoying the bike ride. Good to see you, man. Sundowners, TGIF. Sundowners also says the View isn't toning down anything. They're a bunch of man-hating commies. I don't disagree. I literally don't disagree. Zombie Box, KK will be joining the View when she leaves. That would be hilarious if KK, but she'd probably look at that as like a huge step down, like studio head of Lucasfilm, one of the top producers in Hollywood history with Spielberg and George Lucas and stuff, and now she's on a ABC News morning show with a bunch of other cackling hens. Sundowners also says Iger is one of the most liberal CEOs out there.
Yeah, I remember. I feel like a couple years ago there was like reports that he was literally like moving the company into this like woke direction because he was trying to position himself for a run as president of the United States. I think that's what a lot of people were speculating and on as to why he did a lot of the things that he did at the Walt Disney Company to try to position himself for that potential run.
No way, even if he runs, no way he gets the nomination. I don't see it. Like, people are so pissed at crap that Disney's done. I don't even think the Democrats would even want him there.
He's boring too, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, for sure. Zombie Box, Nick has to keep moving to power his lights. No, to power this stream. Zombie Box. I gotta keep moving to power.
Midgard. You're trying to power Midgard, looks like. Right?
Yep. I'm getting all the Mako energy put out there. And of course I moved, and so now it's got me all blurry.
It's my fault.
Let's see. Greg E. Sunny Joy, Whoopi, not happy people. 100% they are not.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of provide some more information here, like there's a website called USTVDB. It reports The View is currently the 11th most popular show on ABC and 50th overall on TV, watched by a total number of 2.3 million people per episode as of the average weekly audience membership for the period ending May 18, 2025. I think in the Daily Beast's original reporting, they said it was the #1 show in the time slot and with the demographic that it aims for, which is like those 50 plus women. And it beats out Fox News's, I forget who they have on their show that runs their program. I can't remember what her name is. And then if you look at Social Blade, I mean, they did 13.7 million views over the last 30 days. They have a weekly average of 2.1 million views. And again, if you just kind of scroll through like some of their most recent videos, the top ones are literally Kristi Noem's recent congressional appearance, and then a number of videos about Joe Biden's cognitive decline and then like his cancer diagnosis. So it's all kind of political in nature, those top videos that they have for their channel.
Yeah. Do they have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they did.
Yeah. Let me see. I don't know if you want to pull it up.
Yeah. If you can pull
it's just the View. Here. You can look at it.
Yeah, I've never even seen their YouTube channel. I even knew they even had one. I mean, I see tons of content that other people create on them, but I've never actually looked for their content because I just wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not the target demo, right?
No. How many subscribers do they got?
They've got 1.5 million subscribers.
Wow.
they delete a lot of their videos too. It looks like if you go to Social Blade, you can see they have like lots of negative views. But I mean, you can see here they are uploading all of their recent episodes now, full length episodes. It looks like to YouTube. So clearly moving away from the cable. Obviously, they still have cable. I mean, but you can see here. I mean, Brian Kelly, Bill Belichick, Soho Sessions, whatever, and then Trump pushes genocide claim, right? 86,000. Like, I mean, we're looking at what 4 or 5 times the amount that these other videos are getting. Like, so you can see like what their viewership is reacting to here, and then you can see here's the Kristi Noem one, 116,000, and then all these other ones. Jennifer Lawrence, 30,000. Jessica Biel, 21. I mean, and then where is it? I mean, Angela Bassett looks like to be like 43 maybe, but then here you go, the political fairy smut book, Jake Tapper, 72,000, right? So I mean, those are their big viewed videos. I mean, Biden's diagnosis, 97,000. I mean, pretty clear here that these are the topics that their audience tunes into and are watching. And I think it's probably safe to assume that the audience that is watching on cable is probably similar to the audience that's watching on YouTube as well. And so that's why these people tune in. And if you watch like these full broadcasts, like their opening is like the political stuff. That's how they open the show, tease the show.
Interesting. All right. Well, that is going to wrap us up for that topic. John, what do you got for us?
Yeah. So I guess I should just go back to where I was. I don't know. Let me see here.
And since there's only 2 of us, I'm actually going to hit another one after John's topic.
Hopefully I don't take your one here.
If so, I got like 3.
Okay, well, I got a bunch too. So,
all right.
So here's the one I just did. I just put up right before the show here. Started GTA parent company Take-Two Interactive has dumped diversity language from its 2025 annual report, but it still is maintaining its commitment to inclusion. So like if you Disney. Just like all of these big companies, right? They're clearly like trying to indicate that they're getting away from this stuff, but I still think they're all on board. And they're just trying to play some word games here.
Yeah.
But so if you go to their 2024 annual report, they have this entire section here called like diversity, equity, and inclusion. We firmly believe that diverse teams are more valuable and effective, and that diversity is key to our success. Yada, 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 like LGBTQ community. I mean, it's corporate talk, right? But clearly what we see with all of these companies where they say like it's key to our success and all this other stuff, working to eradicate social injustice, etc. And then like how they're like supporting all of these movements within that kind of like woke umbrella. And then if you go down into their like talent and development and employee experience section, talks about how they were praised by Newsweek's America's Greatest Workplaces for diversity, women, LGBTQ plus, and job starters in 2024, and how they got all of these honors, gay gaming professionals, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I don't know, business leader in the interactive entertainment industry. And they even said that if they did not act responsibly in regards to diversity and inclusion, it could put the company at risk. Many influence our reputation, including the perception held by our customers, business partners, and other key stakeholders. Our business faces increasing scrutiny related to environmental, social, and governance activities. We risk damage to our reputation if we fail to act responsibly in a number of areas, such as diversity and inclusion, environmental stewardship, supply chain management, climate change, workplace conduct, human rights, and philanthropy, etc. So all of that is gone. Like that's not in the 2025 report. That was in their 2024 report. It's not in the 2025 report. Instead, they have this community and engagement section now is what it's called. And it just says, we firmly believe that diversity of thought drives the innovation that is integral to our success. We strive to provide an inclusive workplace. So this is their still saying they want the inclusion, right? Inclusive workplace in which everyone feels respected, heard, and safe. Our culture, grounded in compassion, collaboration, and a commitment to excellence, supports an inclusive and welcoming environment for prospective employees and the broader community. Nowhere else in the report is the term diversity used. Did a Control F. It only shows up one time. So it's gone. Like it's not a risk anymore, apparently, to to not be responsible towards diversity and inclusion. It clearly isn't leading to their success anymore. We don't know why this has all been like axed from their report, although it's probably likely it has something to do with the fact that the government has changed. Now we have President Donald Trump and his administration in power, and he signed an executive order titled Ending Illegal Discrimination and Restoring Merit-Based Opportunity. He talks about how all these DEI and DEIA policies are not only immoral, but likely illegal.
Yeah, 100%. It's discrimination.
Yep. It says right here, illegal DEI and DEI policies not only violate the text and spirit of our longstanding federal civil rights laws, they also undermine our national unity as they deny, discredit, and undermine the traditional American values of hard work, excellence, and individual achievement in favor of an unlawful, corrosive, and pernicious identity-based spoil system. And that's in the executive order. I love that language right there. And he actually instructed his agency heads to work to eradicate it from the private sector after he outlawed it from the government sector, and says that he wanted them to give him a report that identifies the most egregious and discriminatory DEI practitioners in each sector of concern and create a plan of specific steps or measures to deter DEI programs or principles that constitute illegal discrimination or preferences. He said that he would take various actions, whether that be litigation as well as regulatory action against these companies that engage in these practices. And we've already seen some of that taking place with the FCC opening investigations into both NBC Universal as well as the Walt Disney Company over their DEI policies. So
the whole hiring people based on sexual preference, skin color, like it doesn't make sense at all. Like it's like common sense went out the window, and freaking Trump's just sitting there like, this is stupid. We want the best people for the job, and every company out there should be the same way. Not trying to meet these numbers. You know, if you fall into one of those categories and you're the best person for the job, great, good for you. But these people shouldn't be hired for these movie roles or gaming studios or any company out there just based on that. I mean, that's just retarded to me personally. But.
Yeah, which is what we know they were doing this too, right? I mean, all of these companies had these policies. I mean, like it's literally in their annual report that if they have this response, like their report last year, it said that was a risk. It put the company at risk if they were not responsible to diversity and inclusion. Like, I mean, they clearly had policies that were promoting that stuff because they said if they weren't responsible to it, they would be at risk. And I mean, there's a whole video of how they've changed the Grand Theft Auto Online stuff. Andy Pants Gaming has really good stuff on that, breaking it all down on how they've done that in GTA 5. I probably have to do some more digging, but I mean, I've covered enough of these major corporations where they all have this stuff, and they even have like DEI reports. I mean, Microsoft, Activision, its subsidiaries, they all have these reports that how they're promoting all of this stuff, whether it be LGBTQ agenda, whether it be their like what's the phrase that I'm looking for, the identity politics, whether it be critical race theory stuff. Like, I mean, all this stuff is connected, and they all have reports like showing that they're connected and how they're promoting it, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, when this first was coming out, because the company I work for had a whole DEI office, a whole department on just DEI. It's gone now. Whole department shut down. But you know, when companies started moving in this direction, and we saw it in gaming companies and movie studios and all this sort of stuff, I was like, you know, they're getting rid of the wording, but the ideology there is still there. You know, they're gonna keep doing this stuff. It's just they're taking the wording out. So
we've seen this. No. We've seen this with the Walt Disney Company, right? They literally deleted their Reimagine Tomorrow page, etc. But they just moved it into another like section of their company. The woman who is in charge of it is still there. Like, she just has like a little bit of a different title. So we've seen some of these companies doing this. But I mean, Trump's executive order, both with the federal government as well as this one here that's more targeted towards the private sector, has made it clear that even if they try to hide this stuff, they're going to work to stamp it out. And I think we've kind of seen that with some of the federal agencies where they've discovered that they were indeed like changing people's titles, changing the department title, etc., to try to hide what it was. But I mean, people like recognized this, saw for what it was, and blew the whistle on it. So, and I mean, we've been reporting on a lot of these companies for so long. There's so much evidence to it, and it's not just us, right? I think there's America First Legal has filed EEOC complaint against Walt Disney Company, etc., for its hiring practices and its policies when it comes to its diversity quotas and things like that it had for ABC News, whether it be for people in front of the camera or for people behind the camera. And then even their contractors, like the people that they're hiring to like cater the food, have to be a certain type of person or they won't hire them, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Low Spec Linux Gaming says it best. Orange Man bad. Okay. Yeah, that is the thing. Orange Man bad. But yeah, you know, the more these companies end up getting these lawsuits filed against them, like Disney, I mean, the more they're gonna have to move away from this. But the thing is, if the wording's not there, the reporting on it's not there, how do we know it's really gone? I guess just watching the product that they put out, you know, because I mean, we don't see the hiring, like what category all the employees hired fall under. You know, that's not like information they release.
Yeah, I think we can see the products that they're putting out, and I think it's going to be a lot more subtle moving forward. I do think that's going to happen. I obviously there's still examples like Snow White where it's not going to be, and you've got people like Pedro Pascal out here still using the heavy hammer. But I do think they're going to try to get more subtle on it, and it's going to be harder for us to make our arguments for it because it's not going to be as in people's faces. But I also think you can like just follow the people, right? Like with Reimagine Tomorrow, with the Walt Disney Company, the people are still there, right? They just moved to a different department, etc. Have a little bit of a different name, so you can still follow these people if we've identified them. In some cases, it's going to be a little bit harder because we maybe don't have as big of a microscope on them. Some of those maybe smaller companies, etc., where we haven't been paying as much attention to them, will be more difficult to do that. But I mean. But I guess at the end of the day, as you said, it's you'll know them by their fruits, right? So I think that is still pertinent. It's been around for 2,000 years, so I don't think that's gonna change.
Nope, definitely not. And Greg E says the swamp will wait 4 years for Trump to leave. See, that's the thing that kind of concerns me is like we could have 4 years of the nonsense kind of being cut out. You know, but as soon as the left wing retards get back into office, it's like it's gonna just all go back to same old. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what the future holds and see what happens. Hopefully, you know, I think more than whoever holds power in government, I think it's the people that really hold the real power, you know, by voting with your wallet, you know, not, working for these kind of companies or spending your money out with these kind of companies, you know, that sort of thing. I think that does more than who's in power, who's in the Oval Office.
I probably disagree with you on that. And I think just because what we see, right? I mean, Trump came in and he's completely changed a lot of things already. It
definitely makes a huge difference.
I firmly believe that the law is a teacher, and if you actually like kind of enforce the law, people will start maybe obeying it and not disobeying it, not kind of trying to work around it, as we've seen. I mean, there's people that are literally self-deporting now, going on airplanes and like leaving. So I think that's something there to that. But I do have that same kind of fear that you have. Once Trump is gone, who follows after him, right? Do we continue the momentum that we have? And I already feel like I'm seeing this in even some of our circles where it's just like we've won the fight's over. Like we beat it. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, did you not watch the latest Disney movie? Like,
yeah, really.
There. Like, what's going on? I mean, the fight is, these people are still out there. They didn't like just disappear because Trump won the election. I mean,
yeah,
they're still around. They're still organizing. They're still working. I mean, you've got just like absolutely insane stuff happening in certain areas where the stuff that these people say. I mean, people are still buying into like this idea that sex is somehow fluid. Like, I mean, that's where we're at now, right? I mean, so
yeah. It's funny because I'll watch a lot of YouTube videos. Mexican Iron Man gets it, and he used to be a Democrat. Democrats equal retards. But crap, what was I about to say? I've completely lost my train of thought. Anyways, it'll come back to me. Oppression leads to rebellion. Yep, 100%.
It can. I mean, it doesn't always, right? I mean, you can look at I mean, the Soviet Union, they didn't rebel. The people there didn't rebel. I mean, it just collapsed, right?
Yeah.
We haven't seen any kind of rebellion in China, right? Yeah. I mean, and we saw rebellions. We did see some rebellions in the Eastern Bloc, obviously, probably when I was a child or before my time, but they were put down. So that's not always necessarily the case, especially in kind of the world we live in now, where you don't really see any kind of legitimate rebellions, especially in some of the larger countries, right? I mean, you might see them in places like Africa, etc., but you're not really seeing any kind of like rebellion in France.
Yeah,
like, that makes sense. I mean, I don't not necessarily that France is being super oppressed, but I mean, again, we're not seeing rebellions in China, etc. Some of these more oppressive states. I mean, you can even look at like Iraq, right? Like they weren't really rebelling against Saddam Hussein. It took American intervention to remove him from power.
Yep. Mexican Iron Man, I was so leftist that I made AOC and Bernie look like right-wing wackos. Yeah, he actually
Thomas Sowell was communist too, right? So
yeah, he actually worked with Michelle Obama. Mexican Iron Man did. Like, what? I was like, did you ever see his penis? Anyways, moving
maybe
on.
he saw some interesting expenses on the accounting spreadsheet.
Yeah. All right, switching gears. I wanted to hit this because it is Memorial Day weekend. We got 2 movies that are out this weekend. The new Lilo and Stitch.
3.
What's the other one?
The Last Rodeo with Neil McDonough. He plays like a retired. It's the Angel Studios movie.
Oh, I've not even heard. Angel Studios is great.
He's a retired rodeo champ who has to go back into the ring to try and win like $1 million to fund surgery for his like grandson.
Yeah. What was the movie they did with the actor that played Jesus?
Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, Sound of Freedom. Yeah, that was one of the few movies that after the initial weekend, movies always have that drop off. It was like going up,
Yeah. We saw a little of that with The King of Kings earlier this year because I think they released it like Palm Sunday, and then Easter it went up as well, or had like a 10% drop, something like extraordinarily small. That Sinners movie has had like really long legs as well, even though I've heard it's like not that great. But
yeah, I've not seen it, but I've heard lots of people talking about it. I honestly don't know anything about it. Have you seen it?
No. It looked like it had a message to send, and I was not interested in the message it was going to send.
I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know that much about it. So, but yeah, this weekend, Lilo and Stitch, wild 14 million Thursday, eyes potential Disney Memorial Day preview record. And then, of course, Mission Impossible 8 million, a franchise best. Now,
wow, they're really gassing that up. Both of those films.
Yeah, there's always some kind of spin there. It's sort of like you know, when a Disney Plus show comes out and they like, you know, will do like viewership for 5 days instead of what they did previously for like 3 or something. Be like, oh, this is the most watched thing on Disney Plus ever. Like, it's the greatest thing. You know,
the most watched Disney Plus show of 2025. It's January 1.
Yeah, exactly. But Thursday night was beyond cute for Disney. Their live action take of 2002 tune classic Lilo and Stitch is grabbing around 14 million in previews that started at 2 p.m., which is possibly a Disney record as far as previews go over Memorial Day weekend. Lilo and Stitch would need to unset 2018 Solo, a Star Wars story, which threw one of the lowest grossing movies in Star Wars franchise, racked up 14.1 million in its Thursday before a 35.3 million Friday and 103 million 4-day. As we always say, don't be surprised if Lilo and Stitch's cash is substantially higher by the time Hollywood wakes up. Many are expecting this 100 million ride back co-production to come in at 150 million. Is that what was the name of the movie you were talking about that's also coming out?
The Last
Angel
Rodeo?
Studios. Yeah,
The Last Rodeo.
The Last Rodeo.
Yeah, that's coming out this weekend.
Maybe I'll go see that this weekend.
Yeah, it looks good. I miss Neil McDonough. I like Neil McDonough.
I'm not interested in Lilo and Stitch, and I haven't seen the last 4 Mission Impossibles, even though I appreciate Tom Cruise.
Go see Fallout.
Go see it.
The Fallout, not this one. I saw the first one because remember this was like a part 1 and a part 2.
Yeah.
Like, and then they renamed it. The part 1, like I'm actually like really surprised. People like were gassing this Mission Impossible movie up, and I'm like, did you guys watch the first one? It wasn't good. It was subpar. You could clearly tell it was made during COVID. Like it was like there was like shots in an office, like it was supposed to be like at Langley and CIA, right? And they were clearly 6 feet apart, right? Like with the COVID rules and all that stuff. Because remember he went viral for him like screaming at the guys at like the computer desks when they were filming in London.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he snapped. He snapped on those people.
So the fact that the part 2 of this film is not that, like from what everyone is saying, the quality isn't that great. I mean, surprise! Like the first one wasn't that great. Yeah. So, but Fallout, the one that came before with Henry Cavill, that's really good. That's probably one of the best Mission Impossible films. It's right up there with the first one.
I haven't seen any of them other than the first one. The first one is the only one I've seen.
Yeah. So if you're gonna watch any other one, watch Fallout. You can probably skip the other ones.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, I like the Mission Impossible franchise. I always say I'm a fan of it. I think I've watched all of them. I really enjoy the first one. Although I didn't know this, but clearly there's a little of proto slap in the face to like old Mission Impossible fans from like the television show, etc. Because they made, I guess, the main hero of the show the villain. Of the first movie, like John Voight's character, I guess, in the old like TV shows is typically like the hero, and then he ends up being the villain in the first one. Zombie Boxes 3 was good. Yeah, 3 was good. The J.J. Abrams one is not good though. Whichever one he did that's not one. It's J.J. Abrams, right?
Yeah,
but Fallout is good. I highly recommend Fallout with Henry.
Yeah, so we were talking about this on the HCast yesterday, and you know, I didn't really know kind of which way I was leaning when we were talking about this with this Memorial Day weekend. Because the thing is, Lilo and Stitch, another Disney movie, and I've kind of heard mixed reviews on it. Like some people are like, yeah, it's actually not a bad film. And then other people are like, this is a shell of its former self. It's terrible. So, I mean, I'm not going to watch it. And then, of course, Mission Impossible, which I don't know. I just don't know. We get so many bad movies nowadays. It almost feels like the general audience is just like, I'll wait for it to come out on streaming. You know, I'm not spending all this money to go to the theater to go watch this. I don't know. Where are you thinking we land after this Memorial Day weekend?
I think that there's no recovering. I think Hollywood isn't a free fall. They've been that way for a little bit. I mean, you go back and look at kind of the past years. I think the last time they were really moving up, and I don't even think you can argue they were moving up. They were pretty much just stagnant even before COVID. So they were obviously like not even like the total box office wasn't actually going up because it was flat, but like with inflation, right, it's actually going down. Even if you're still making 19 billion or whatever it is a year, if you're doing that for 5 years straight, like it's down, right? because of the inflation. So there's that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really see. I mean, I guess you have the Jurassic Park movie that's coming out later, and then Fantastic Four, and what's the other one? Superman. Yep, we'll see. Superman. But even the projections that I'm seeing are like the far off projections with Superman. It's in the same ballpark as Man of Steel, right? And that's not that's not huge, right? That's not even at a Thor: Love and Thunder level, which was kind of the last time Marvel was at the top, right? It was already kind of starting to go down there. So even you might see a lot of hype, I guess, on social media. The box office expectations aren't there matching that kind of discourse that you're seeing. So yeah, I think Hollywood's in a lot of trouble. I mean, Netflix guy talks about it all the time. He's like, we're saving Hollywood because we're the ones making movies and we're putting them on our streaming because that's where people actually want to watch this stuff. And I think there's some extent that he's right with that. I think Amazon's business model is interesting because they'll put stuff out in theaters, use it as an advertisement, then bring it to Prime, and it's people are watching it on Prime, right? And Netflix is kind of doing that with some of their stuff, where they'll have like a limited theatrical release, etc.
Yep. So here's the top movies of 2025. And actually, I pulled this up because I actually got a question for you I want to get your thoughts on. So we got Mission Impossible coming out this week. Ballerina, which that's is that a movie or is that a show?
It's a spin-off. It's a John Wick spin-off movie with Anna de Armas.
I thought it was a show.
They did a show. I don't know if it was on Apple or something, and it was like pewed by who's the guy that plays the guy who runs the Continental, who runs the hotel, the Irishman or the Scottish guy.
Yeah,
I can see him.
Yeah, I can't remember.
He was basically like, these people did this show without us. Like, I think Mel Gibson was in it though. If I recall.
Was he?
I think it was called the Continental or something like that.
Yeah, the Continental. That's it. I never.
It went one season and they ended it, so I never watched it. I thought the John Wick stuff kind of jumped the shark out.
On the so it really did in the fourth one. But yeah, the first one, we were talking about this yesterday on the HCast. The first one was the best one. It was the best John Wick movie for sure. We got
Ian McShane, Darth Maul's lower half. That's it. Thank you.
We got the Materialists, ELO, How to Train Your Dragon live action, which is not really live action.
They've got live action people.
Yeah. Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, Fantastic Four, Freakier Friday, Big Bold Beautiful Journey, Tron Ares, which I'm actually looking forward to seeing that. Black Phone 2, Regretting You, The Running Man. I completely forgot that they were redoing this. So that's just the top 15. I'm not going to go through all of them. Of course, Predator Badlands, which that Predator looks terrible.
The kid, he's supposed to be like a kid or whatever, right?
Yep.
Or at least that's what they're justifying it. They're justifying the terrible design.
Yep. The second Wicked movie. So my question is, do we see $1 billion box office for any movies this year?
Probably not. I mean, I think.
So which one do you think it would be?
I think they were saying Minecraft might get it. I think that's what OMB Reviews has been saying. I don't typically look at whether or not it's going to get to $1 billion, but I look at box office numbers. But when I'm looking at this stuff, I don't think oh, is it going to get to $1 billion? But no, I think Minecraft was the closest this year so far, and it's done 928.4.
So it's not in theaters anymore, is it?
Yes, it still is. It did 301,000 yesterday, according to the numbers here. So unlikely based on what it's doing now to get there, I guess. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think Fantastic Four is going to get there.
No.
That might be the only one that kind of stands out because of the Marvel brand. Superman, I just don't, like I said, it's doing Man of Steel numbers. When you adjust for inflation. So I don't think that looks to be there either. And Jurassic maybe, but I don't even think, did the last Jurassic even do it?
No, the last one I think just missed it. Yeah, with the Jurassic movies, each one, like the original first three, the box office numbers slowly declined with each installment. Same thing, and we're seeing the same thing with this one. I don't got the numbers in front of me, but
it looks like the last one barely did $1 billion. It did 1.004 billion.
Okay.
In 2022, Jurassic World Dominion. So I don't think that Rebirth or Jurassic World Rebirth does that because it's declined, right? The Jurassic World 2015 did 1.6. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom 1.3, and then Dominion in 2022 just 1 billion. So yeah, no, I don't think that Rebirth is going to do $1 billion either. I mean, if it continues the trend, it'll do like 700 million.
Yeah. I was thinking in between 7 and 8 would be where it probably tops out.
Yeah,
so I don't think we see a $1 billion film this year.
They're just
at all.
There's nothing interesting for me, and I know I'm an extraordinarily minority when it comes to going to movies, but like, I mean, I was interested in Top Gun right when that came out, and I went to see that. It was like one of the few movies that I went and saw. I went and saw Godzilla -1, which was fantastic. But yeah, there's nothing that like truly like interests me in the movie out of all those that you listed off. Maybe the Predator one. They're like, after watching Mr. H's kind of commentary on it, he made me more interested in it than the trailer did, and the stuff that he was talking about. Because like when I first saw it, I was like, man, this Predator design looks absolutely garbage. But I loved I loved like the different places that it showed off and stuff like that, and I like that. There was like a giant kaiju monster that he was like trying to fight or hunt, it looked like. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I like that idea of him going maybe like on these, like he's got to like blood himself or whatever on this planet that has all these various different environments, aliens and creatures and stuff. And so I do kind of, I find that it is interesting, and it doesn't look like it's going to have anything to do with like, I don't know, even like morals or anything. It's like, go kill these animals. And that's the story. It's like, so maybe I can get behind. Yeah, absolutely. Darth Maul's lower half. What about Minecraft movie? So we actually just talked about that. So it's at like 930 million right now. So far it's the closest of hitting that $1 billion mark this year. But yeah, again, I don't think we see one this year. What comes out in like December?
The Wicked movie part 2. But I did the first. I don't even think the first one made $1 billion, did it? No, that's a super, like, it's a pretty niche. Yeah, it did 754. Okay, so it's like the Barbie audience kind of, right? Except without like the Oppenheimer thing that like went on, and then all of like the Ken stuff that you had, like the Ken memes and everything that like I think drove more people to Barbie. Yep. All right, John, what else do you got? We got one more topic to cover for you guys, and while he's getting that ready, go ahead. What? Do the super chat. You actually had it up on Variety or whatever you were at. Like I saw it. It was like Wheel of Time was canceled, and I was like, let's do that one. Yeah. I was like, yes, it's done. Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even hear about this. I think it just broke. I think that just happened today. Yeah, that's what like, because I just saw it when you pulled up the Variety. I think it was on their
they have like their top trending
deadline
ticker or whatever, or deadline, wherever you're at. But yeah, read this super chat here from GraphWeb and we'll get into this.
Yeah. GraphWeb with the $2 super chat. Hail to you, the most consistent man on the interwebs. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. 100%. If you guys have not canceled that Disney Plus subscription yet, coach, go ahead and cancel it today. Don't give them your money. But thanks for that, GraphWeb. Hail to you, good sir. But yeah, Wheel of Time. Yeah, this just broke today at noon, 3 hours ago. Canceled by Prime Video after 3 seasons.
I actually think this might have happened an hour ago because I think they're Pacific time, right?
Oh, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. If the stupid mouse will work. No, I don't want your advertisements on here. Prime Video will not be renewing the Wheel of Time for a 4th season. I'm surprised it made it 3 seasons because from what I heard about the first season and people who are fans of the books, man, they had DEI, race, gender swap stuff all over that thing and completely destroyed it. And
go ahead. Yeah, it was awful. And then the guy like literally he did this interview with one of these Penske media outlets, Deadline, Variety, or Hollywood Reporter, I can't remember which one, where he was basically saying that his whole point of doing the show was to be LGBTQ plus propaganda. Like he was literally explicitly saying that was his goal with not only the show but his life. Just like, what?
Yeah, but Prime Video will not be renewing it for the 4th season. The decision, which comes more than a month after the season 3 finale was released April 17th, followed lengthy deliberations, as often is the case in the current economic environment. Of course, it's the economic environment. It's not that the show sucks. The reasons were financial, as the series liked creatively by the streamers' executives.
So remember, this was probably a show that was greenlit by what's her name, who was just basically axed at Amazon.
Yeah,
I can't remember her name right now.
That's gonna drive me nuts. Because she was at she did the Wings of Power, right?
Yeah, she was.
And she was at
Sony.
She did
all of these. I don't know where she was. Jennifer Salke. Jennifer Salke.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
And she basically got that position because they Me Too'd this guy named Roy Price out of the spot, right? And then you have all of these like woke interpretations, I guess, to be nice, I guess, these woke disasters, these woke abominations of these shows like Wheel of Time, Rings of Power, all kind of coming up under her. And no, the show sucked. I don't even think I made it through the first season. And I consider myself a Wheel of Time fan. I read all of the books, even the ones that after his death that what's his name wrote. Blanking on his name too. I can see his face.
Oh, so you actually did read the books and tried watching the show when it
first released. Yeah. I mean, I also was raising the warning flags on this from the very get-go where it was, I got it actually leaked to me. Mm-hmm. That they were having Perrin kill his wife, which he didn't have in the books in the very first episode, and he does, and that's how they literally changed his entire character. Race swapped him as well. Absolutely disastrous, just creative decision making, and what's his name was always criticizing it too, even though he was like a consultant. He was like, they made all these like awful changes, but he was always like kind of trying to be conciliatory because he was clearly getting paid by them too. But you could tell he didn't like a lot of the changes. Brandon Sanderson is his name. But yeah, I mean, the show is a disaster. I think the only thing they got right was the creature design with the Trollocs, and that they actually did a really good job on that. But even the white coat designs were horrible. They're supposed to look like Crusaders, right? Crusading knights. Like that's how they're depicted. That's how they're described. And they don't look anything like that. They don't look anything like that.
Yeah. So when I first saw the trailer for it, I was like, wow, this looks badass. Like, I never read the books or anything, but this looks awesome. And then I was like, I'm going to wait and hear what people who read the book say about it before I invest any time in it. And man, that first season got destroyed by fans of the books. Destroyed. I was like, well, not going to be watching that one.
Yeah, I think they lost like 50% of the audience after the first season. It did actually look stable when I was looking at the numbers. I mean, I think it was down a little bit from the second to the third season, but for the most part, it seemed to have stabilized on Nielsen, which I was kind of surprised by. But also, like, I get people who knew what it was, so they like, I guess those people were fine with it. And I would wager it was a lot of women watching. Probably. And a lot of male fans probably were like, nope. But yeah, I bet you they weren't selling a lot of books either.
Probably not.
I bet you Amazon wasn't selling books.
Probably not. But yeah, when I watched the trailer, this is exactly what I thought it looked like. A high-end, pricey fantasy drama. You know, and Coach is big into fantasy. And so he wanted to watch it too. And I think he started to watch it and he was like, oh, dude, I couldn't even finish it. Like, it's not good. So
so I guess I hadn't been keeping up with it on Nielsen. It says there that it did drop out of Nielsen's top 10 originals chart after the first 3 weeks of season 3, while staying on the list for the entire runs the previous 2 seasons. So people clearly did end up dropping it, I guess, in the middle of season 3. So it kind of disputes the original claim there, which Deadline always likes to do, right? They'll put like in their first paragraph, oh, it's just a financial decision. It doesn't mean people are actually abandoning it. It's like, no, people are abandoning it.
Yeah. I mean, if people are watching and they're making money on it, they're going to keep it going. You know, if Game of Thrones would have sucked, they would have canceled it after the 3rd season, you know, and it went, what, 7?
Yeah, 7. And they got like 4 spinoffs or whatever now. Right?
Yeah. So yeah, Wheel of Time over and done with. Season 3 ranks 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, up from 86 for season 2 and 81 for season 1.
That's critic stuff. So remember, the people who are still watching it are the ones who actually liked it to begin with. So you're going to have a smaller portion of people actually reviewing it, and it's the people who already liked it. So that's kind of how that works. Especially with Rotten Tomatoes, and they only ever cite the critic scores, but you'll probably see a similar trend with the audience score. I would wager that the audience score is higher for season 3 because it's people who have made it through the first 2 seasons and they like the crap that
they're the only ones watching it, so of course they're gonna rate it good. But yeah, not surprising news at all, honestly, that this show is done for after 3 seasons, but you know, that's what happens. You go woke, you go broke.
And this is actually something we don't see at the Walt Disney Company, right? Where we are seeing an executive get axed after embracing all of this stuff, and we are now seeing a change in the creative here, because this is one of those shows that was under Salky. It is now gone. So this is
along with her.
Yeah, this is potentially really good news for Amazon. Amazon's interesting too, because we have seen some good stuff come from them. It's not all garbage, right? We had the Terminal List with Chris Pratt. I don't know if you watched that one.
Loved it. Yeah.
It's the Punisher, right? It's so good. And then I watched the House of David show this year. I thought it was good. It could have been a lot better. Should have been a lot better.
How accurate was it?
The parts that were accurate were the best parts of the show, right? When they're actually like lifting straight from the first book of Samuel. It's fantastic. I think the issue, and I did a whole review on this. I think the issue is they should have started before. They should have gone back further, where Samuel's actually anointing Saul and going through some of the things with Saul in the first season, and then you kind of maybe end with David being anointed, and then you can kind of build up some stuff. It still has some typical Hollywood stuff that you expect with some of the female characters and things like that, which I thought they could have done a little bit better job on. So like the one, what's her name? David's first wife that he wins by killing Goliath, right? She shows up to like the battlefield to like bring Saul out of like the the curse that God's put on him with like the evil angel like tormenting him, right? And that's usually David brings him out. So I didn't really like that. That doing that, I think it would have been better to actually, like, if you wanted to do that, they should have just showed her praying for him, etc., and trying to get something like that, instead of having to be physically there and then her like literally like her actions rousing him up. I didn't like that. I think that I didn't like how it's like her doing that instead. I would have liked to seen her praying, if that makes sense from like a spiritual standpoint. And then I didn't like how they characterized David. Like if you read First Samuel, he's depicted as obviously he's a youth, right? But he's also he's not like an idiot. He's not crass. He's not kind of beholden to his emotions. He's got his head on right. He's making the right decisions most of the time. And they depict him as kind of this brash character in many cases. And then he also has kind of an antagonistic relationship with his father Jesse, which is not in scripture whatsoever, which I really didn't like that. And obviously they did a story thing with it, and there was like a great scene at the end of it, but I don't think that really justified how they characterize that relationship. You still could have had that lesson that they gave about sacrifice elsewhere in the show, I thought. So it has a good base. I actually, hopefully they learn from it. They take some of the criticisms that I think some other people have made and improve on it, because I do think that there is some really good stuff there. And obviously it ends with the fight with Goliath. And so there's all kinds of stuff you still have with David to go through, the civil war that he's going to engage in with Saul, him becoming the king, etc., the things that he has to deal with as king, Bathsheba, etc., and stuff like that. And I guess that's where I really had an issue with is with how they depicted David, because he does make the right decisions leading up to fighting Goliath, and we know later on he's going to make these bad decisions, and that's where you can have that character growth where he fails there, because that's where he's supposed to have it, not in this case here. So, and that's something that Hollywood does. They always want to have like these, you have to have the character growth. And it's like, no, why can't we just have a character like the Shadow who's making the right decisions, and the obstacles that he has to face are external, not primarily internal, which modern Hollywood always is like, you have to get over your internal character flaws and have some kind of character growth rather than facing things that are external. And that looks like what we're going to see with Superman, and that's concerning.
Yeah. No, so I was interested in House of David, but I was waiting for it to all come out and hear what people said about it, because I was wondering about the accuracy. And I pulled this up because I saw Noah and I saw Exodus, Gods and Kings, and I was like, this is nothing like what actually happened. It was like fantasy. I was like,
I didn't watch either of those. So.
Oh, they're terrible. Like literally, that it was like sprinkles of accuracy in there, with a just ton of just fantasy and fiction. And so I was like, man, I'm done with biblical Hollywood movies and shows, because they just don't seem to get it right at all.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'm gonna wait on House of David and see what people say.
I haven't seen those, but Matt Tween says House of David is nothing like those. What you're saying, I agree. I don't think it sounds like anything like that. It is. It does have really good scenes that stay true to First Samuel. I mean, it has some like absolutely fantastic scenes with Samuel. I mean, the scenes with Samuel are great, literally lifted straight from First Samuel, where he is rebuking Saul, where he kills the Amalekite leader. It's really like, that stuff is really good. That's in the first episode. So yeah, I mean, there's some really good stuff in there. That's like peak TV, but there's also parts where like it's a streaming series too, right? And a lot of the issues with these streaming series is pacing, and it has pacing issues too. Which that's with a lot of stuff. The Goliath is depicted really well. They show the other giants as well. So I just some of that story, I think could have been improved on or cut out too. So
yeah. Donnie says, if I have one biblical movie of all time, it might as well be a tie between The Rogue from 1953 and The Ten Commandments from 56 with Charleston Heston. Both great movies.
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, Passion of the Christ would be up there for me, and so would The Greatest Story Ever Told. Was also really good. I liked it a lot.
I've been watching Jesus of Nazareth, the 6-episode TV miniseries. The first episode is average. It could have been a lot better, but the second one, where you actually get to Jesus as an adult, it has some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, and Tatooine, yeah. House of David, nothing like those abominations. Monkey Jeebus. Noah had Transformers. Yeah, literally.
Did it really?
Yes. Like these transforming rock creatures and stuff. And I'm like, what? What is going on here? None of this is accurate. I mean, literally, it was like watching like a Final Fantasy game or something, you know.
Were they trying to do some like creative liberty with within the film or something, or
no, nothing like that. It was just straight up, just fantasy, straight up. I was just like, this is dumb. Yeah, Transformers helped build the Ark.
That's crazy.
It's
there's
weird.
That takes away from Noah building the Ark. And all the people like mocking him.
Yeah, like you should watch it just to see how dumb it is. Like you should watch it just to laugh at it. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
The whole that's literally like Noah being foreshadowed with the Ark or Noah building the Ark and being mocked is foreshadowing of Christ being mocked on the cross, right? Like
Yep. Yeah. It's crazy, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's Hollywood.
I mean, because the Noah story should be a good story. Like that could be a great story. I mean, a good like drama. Like that could be a good drama. And then obviously you get like the epic flood at the end, and people like banging, like, "Come save me!" And it's like, no.
Let us in. Open the door.
Yeah.
Sorry, door's shut. You had your chance, buddy.
I didn't know you. I didn't know you. Like, right? What the parable, right? I didn't know you.
Yeah. Yeah, but all right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap it up for us. John, tell everybody what you got going on, where they can find you. Links for all John's stuff is in the description below.
Yeah, so obviously still cranking out articles over on phantompulse.com. Probably write up something on that Wheel of Time. I'm really happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That
especially since you're one of the people that actually read the books.
Yeah, well, it's also less people being exposed to that propaganda. That's how I always kind of look at all of this stuff now. Because it's really what it is. It's propaganda with a coat of Wheel of Time on over top to try to disguise it. But yeah, so obviously that, and then I'm over on the Trent Report here on YouTube, and I have a stock car channel as well. Lots of stuff happening this weekend. Indy 500, Coca-Cola 600. Kyle Larson's going to try and do the double. So that'll be interesting. And then on the dirt side, we've got the Show Me 100 out there at Lucas Oil Raceway in Wheatland, Missouri. Good race last night. They got a race tonight and then tomorrow as well. So I'll be tuning into that and probably covering some of that stuff there. And also covering that on my racing website, stockcarreport.com.
Sweet. As for me, you guys know where to find me. Mr. H Reviews on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Doomcock every Wednesday night, and then of course our weekly live stream every Thursday night, 7:00 Central, and then of course Friday afternoon EBN cast. I want to thank everybody for being here, supporting the channel. As we always say here, you are Echo Base Network. Until the next one, guys, we'll see you later.